Welcome back to How to Invest for Yourself. I'm Jason. Today we're just going to talk about keeping things super simple with velocity banking, not overthinking things, but also keeping everything into consideration. Okay, so we're just going to look at a super small scenario, and I'm going to do a generic scenario, nothing super complicated. I'm just going to say that this person rents, they have a car, and they have a credit card that they wish to pay off, and then use that credit card as their debt tool going forward to pay off their car, or maybe to use velocity banking as a method of saving for the future. So there is more than one purpose for velocity banking. So the purpose for velocity banking initially is to help accelerate the method in which you pay off your debts. What I would like to do is go over this small scenario and explain to you the difference between velocity banking and Dave Ramsey method. I know that I've done this before in another video, but this one's just super simple for people who are maybe college students or people who are just paying rent, or even for those that are super young and they just don't know what to do with their finances. And maybe they're starting to get into debt and they're waking up now and saying, you know what, I don't think that I need to go down this path because I see that I'm just throwing money away and I would like to eventually get out of my apartment and not rent. Maybe I want to own a house in the future. And if I keep going down this path, I'm just throwing money away. This is just a hypothetical. I'm not saying that people make this much money every single month or whatnot, but we're just going to do the monthly budget in this case. And as I am, and as I think that you should be, I think that we should write a weekly budget, only because we can see progress happen faster. We can keep a closer tab on how our money is going out and how money is coming in, and we can keep track of our numbers more closely. You don't need to do a daily, that's kind of over the top, but I think that a weekly is perfectly fine. And then project yourself out for 12 months. You can project yourself out all the way until the end of your debts. But we want to keep things super duper, extremely simple. Just focus on one bill at a time that you want to target and that you want to pay off. Everything else, you're just going to pay the minimum for. So in order to know how much you're going to chunk at or how much you're going to throw money at this one bill, not kind of gotta, you really gotta know where all of your numbers are. You gotta know what all your expenses are. You're gonna know what all your bills are. You gotta know when the due dates are for all those bills and all those debts that you have. You just need to know those things, so that way when you write your weekly budget, you can put those numbers in and you can account for that week. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start with this one. This one's just super simple. It's someone who's making their income is $4,000 a month. Okay, and they have debts. Well, we'll say they're out. Okay, this is their out funds. What's leaving their checking account or leaving their credit card and going out into the world to never come back again. Okay, so they're spending about $3,500. Okay. And then whatever's left over, and we'll just keep it like everybody else does. We'll just say cash flow, right? Cash flow is $500. And then we're going to itemize out all of our bills on the side. So we're going to look at the car payment, the rent, and food. This includes groceries, going out to eat, and things like that, fast food, and then miscellaneous. So miscellaneous could be like, I don't know, it could be your cell phone bill, your water bill, your cable bill, could be your Netflix subscription, your Disney Plus, your Hulu, could be all those subscriptions. It could be going to the bar, could be going to the batting range, it could be going to Top Golf or something like that. So let's say you do this once a month and you spend $1,000 on all those expenses. So these fluctuate. The miscellaneous is not like a static bill amount. 300 is also going to go into here for food, but also this is very fluid. So food can sometimes cost you, $20, or it can cost you $150. But this is just a single person by themselves, living in their apartment by themselves, and they want to get out of their current financial situation. They want to pay off all their debts. Okay. So then they have their rent, and their rent is, we'll just keep it at, we'll say $1,200, and their car payment is $500, Okay, so also in this miscellaneous expenses, and I kind of missed this at the beginning, but we're going to count inside this miscellaneous expenses this guy's credit card. So he has a credit card. Let's put CC here for credit card. He has a balance on it, which is $10,000, right? He owes $10,000 at 21%. Okay, and his payment is $200. It's going to be $200 a month. Let me get the pen working here. $200 a month. That is what he's paying every single month in his bills. So from here, we know we've identified what bills are coming out every single month. The car payment doesn't change. It does have an end date on it. We don't know exactly what that end date is at this point, nor do we care. We're just trying to keep things super simple. If you're writing this budget for yourself, you do need to know if it's a loan, when does the loan have, every loan has an end date. A line of credit does not necessarily have an end date because most credit cards do not. They run forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, never end unless you purposefully go in and cancel your card and close the account. That's the only way that it's going to end, and then you can put yourself on a payment program to repay everything at a reduced interest rate or a zero interest rate. That's one method that I would highly recommend if you're trying to truly get yourself out of debt, is to put yourself in a situation where you have one credit card and not 50 credit cards. Now, once you've accomplished paying off your debts and you get a better understanding of how Velocity Banking can work for you and how you can use your credit cards for you, then you could probably try to go for other credit cards. But you have to remember, the mindset has to be already in place to say, my goal is to pay off my credit card every single time that I use my credit card. Every single month, at the end of my billing cycle, I will only leave a balance on my card of 1 to 9%. So if you have a $1,000 credit card, you're only going to leave $90 on the account or $10 on the account. Super, super, super small. So you're going to pay before the closing date, not after the closing date. Before the closing date or the end of your billing cycle, the day, like probably about 4 days out before the end of your billing cycle, you're going to pay off your credit card and leave a very, 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 very small balance on that card. And for me, if I had $1,000 credit card, I would just leave like maybe $9 on the thing. $9. That's way less than 10%. So if you can do that, your credit score is going to go through the roof, and it's going to show all banks going forward that, hey, this person is super responsible with their money. They're not wasting their cash. We're going to give them more money. So you're going to watch your $1,000 credit line go to like $10,000 in no time at all. Okay, so this individual, we need to identify what are cash payments and what are things that we can pay with the credit card. So knowing what you know right now, looking at these bills, the car payment and the rent, those are typically going to be cash payments, right? So we need to keep aside $1,700. So this is we're gonna identify what is cash, and we have the $500 and the $1,200, so that's $1,700 that needs to stay cash, right? So from our salary or our monthly income after taxes, not before taxes, after taxes is $4,000. Our cash that we need to keep on the side is going to be $1,700. So we're going to subtract that, and we're going to figure out how much money we need to slam at this credit card to do our Velocity Banking. Yes, it's nice to know that you have cash flow, but this number is just a reference point. So in reality, this number really doesn't matter. This $500 does matter for the Dave Ramseys out there. But let's go over this one real quick, just a super basic, simple calculation here. So we're gonna do $4,000. That's what you make a month, right? And we're going to subtract what we need to keep in cash, $1,700, and we're gonna have $2,300 that we can slam every single month is what we can use towards this credit card. And on this credit card, we're going to use it to pay for our groceries and to pay for our miscellaneous expenses, because we know that we could probably pay our water bill, we could probably pay our cable bill, we could probably pay the internet, our cell phone bill, our gas for the car, going out to eat at restaurants, anything that pops up, we usually use credit for anyway. Rent, that's pretty hard to do with a credit card, but you can. We're not going to cover that in this topic. Your car, you could pretty much pay that with your checking account. And well, either way, the rent and the cars is usually done with the checking account, but you can potentially do it with your card. And I will explain that in other videos, and I have explained it in other videos. But for this one, we're just keeping it super simple. We're assuming that this person cannot tie their credit card or link their credit card to their checking account. It's a separate credit card, but they just want to pay it off. Okay, so you gotta identify what is cash and how much you have left over. After you save your cash money, put it into your checking account. Yes, you don't want your cash to be sitting there doing nothing for you, but we want to keep that checking account at zero as much as possible and not carry our debit card everywhere we go. Don't go to the ATM machine. Don't be pulling cash out of your account because it's a waste of money. Okay, so let's go over here and we're going to move this to the side a little bit. And we're going to start our velocity banking method. So we're looking at our first month. Right, our first month is $4,000. Right, that's how much cash that we have, right? And we're going to take out our $1,700. That gives us our $2,300, right? That's our cash flow. All right, what is our debt? Our debt is $10,000. Okay, we owe 10 grand. We're going to take this money and we're going to dump it all in. Every time that we get paid, we're going to save a portion of our cash, right? Let me write that right. Little dyslexia kicking in there. So we're going to save off our cash, right? $1,700, and this is going to go into our credit card, right? This $2,300. So we're going to put $2,300 over here, and we're going to subtract it. So because we're adding to this credit card, we're trying to pay off the balance. So we're going to subtract it, and now we're at $7,700. Okay. Now we're going to add in over time all of our other expenses. What was our other expenses? Well, we had food, right? We had our food and we had our miscellaneous expenses, which also included the credit card. All right, so we're going to add in our $1,300, but wait, what is our little secret here that's not being covered? So if you look at this is our payment every month. Our payment is now being more than satisfied, right? Why is it being more than satisfied? It's because we just paid $2,300 and we made the payment basically of the credit card already ahead of time, the $200. So guess what? We are actually saving this $200 every single month. So let's go ahead and subtract that from our 1,000, and now we're at 800. So 800 and 300 is 1,100. So now this is what our monthly bills are. Okay, so our monthly expenses, right, all that stuff minus the credit card, because we already satisfied it. We already satisfied the credit card payment. So we're going to pay out $1,100 in throughout the month. We don't have to worry about making the payment to the credit card. We've already satisfied that. Okay, we satisfied the bank. The bank is happy. We got our money. Good to go. All right. So now we're going to look at this. We're going to add this in here. It's going to be 8,800. And then we always have to account for interest, right? So this was our bills or whatnot, right? Our bills and expenses that could be charged to the credit card. And this is going to be our interest. So our interest is going to be based off the 10,000. So you multiply this. His interest rate was 21, and you're going to divide that by 12, and you will get $175. Okay, so we're going to add in 175 because that's getting added to the credit card. This is on the high end. It's just an estimate. The actual numbers will go down faster and a lot lower. You should be, and this is a high-end estimate of $175. So we're going to add this in, and now we're looking at 8,975, and that is our first month. We have gone from $10,000 to $8,975. That's great. That's really good progress just in the first month. Okay, all we got to do is wash, rinse, and repeat over and over and over and over again, just doing the same method of taking the $2,300 cash the next month, put that in there. Now we're going to reduce down our debts to $6,000, $675. We're going to add back in our $1,100 of expenses throughout the month, and that will put us at $7,775. And then we're going to add in our interest, and our interest is based on the highest amount right here. So we'll just do the math up here, times 21% divided by 12, and we'll just show you how that's done. So 8975 times 0.21. You have to put it in decimal form, and then we divide it by 12 because there's 12 months in a year. We have $157.06. Okay, so we're just going to add our balance and our interest together. So we're going to go 7775. Let's clear that out. Try it again. 775, right? Plus our 157.06. We're looking at $7,932. I know that doesn't really look like a 3. 32 and 6 pennies. Let me clear this out and start it over. Get rid of this and get rid of this. Okay, so this is a 3, this is a 0, and this is a 6. Wash, rinse, and repeat, and you're going to find on the ninth month, this guy will have about a starting balance of $1,279.81 on the 9th month. And whenever he puts in his paycheck, or not his paycheck, but his credit card monies of $2,300 into the account. All right, we'll go right here, clear this out. 1, 2, 7, 9, and 81 cents minus 2,300. You have a negative balance, which means you have more than satisfied your credit card, and you are definitely beyond owing them anything. In fact, you've overpaid it so much that they will owe you $1,120.19. But don't worry, your bills are still going to come out, and you're still going to be using your credit card the entire time. But now you can adjust yourself to say, hey, I've paid out, I know what my debts are. I know exactly what's going to hit my credit card, and because the credit card is going to be paid off every single month, I will be either paying a very, 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 very small amount of money in interest, or I'll be paying no interest at all. So we would change our mentality, change the way that we think, and don't go nuts saying, oh, I got $10,000, I can go and buy whatever I want. No, the mentality has to change. So you're trying to save up. You want to make your money make money for you, and use those investments that are making money for you to buy the assets, or buy investments, or buy things for you in the future. So that's where we'll start looking at other things in the future. Not right now. We're just focusing on getting out of debt. But in the future, it's what do you do now that your debt is paid off? Well, in this guy's case, he paid off his credit card, but now he's going to start chunking at his car payment. But we're not going to focus on that right now. The goal of this video was just to show how you can pay off your credit card. And in this case, he paid it off on his 9th month. He was done. All right, so if we go and look at the Dave Ramsey method, okay? If we look at this real closely here, this is what Dave Ramsey would say. All right, so you take your income, you got all your expenses coming out, right? The $3,500, your cash flow, any extra cash you have goes towards your debt. In this case, it's $500, right? You're still going to be making your minimum payment on everything else but that credit card. So let's go down here. The person has $10,000, okay? $10,000, and we're taking the $500, which would be cash flow, and we're also going to be adding in the $200 because that's his payment on that card, right? So we're going to take those two payments together. This is $700, okay? And we're going to figure out how many months would it take you, not counting any interest, no interest at all, just adding the $700 into the $10,000. How long would it take you? Well, it's super simple. 10,000 divided by 700 will give you how many months it's going to take you to pay off that $10,000 credit card. So you have $10,000. You're going to divide it by $700 because that's how much you're going to put in every single month. you are down to 14 and about a quarter, 14 and a quarter months. So which one's better? Which one's better? The 9 months or the 14 months? Which one? Well, obviously I'd want to pay off my card faster. It's almost half. It's almost half. It's not quite half. It's a little bit more than half. But in 2/3 of the time it would take you to pay off the Dave Ramsey method, the 2/3 of the time it would take you to pay off the Dave Ramsey method, you could already be done with a credit card and starting on the next bill. And then you can do the snowball thing. I'm not saying everything that Dave Ramsey is saying is bad, but everything he does say is credit is bad. You should never have any credit card debt. You should not owe anybody any kind of money. I get it. But you have to also understand how money works, and people are not teaching people how money works, how money flows. Use these debt tools to your advantage. The bank is taking advantage of you by charging you all this interest. Why don't you use that as flip the script on yourself, and now you use their debt to help you pay off your debt and have your own emergency fund on the side. Dave Ramsey will say you need to save at least $1,000. That's baby step number one. Well, let's say that this credit card had a maximum available balance of 15 grand. You owe 10 grand on the card. Guess what you have? You have $5,000, which is 5 times the amount of money that Dave Ramsey recommended you have as an emergency fund. Things happen through life. It'd be better for me to have $5,000 saved up on the side and then the 1,000, and also have paid off this card in less than 14 months and just do it in 9 months. This is the goal right here. This is the winner chicken dinner, right? This is what you want right here. That's a party time, celebration, fireworks, all that happy jazz. This is what you want. You can celebrate faster, and then you can start working on the car payment next. Okay, so this is super simple, nothing super complicated, and that is it for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Please do like, comment, subscribe, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. This could be broken down into a weekly budget to help you identify where your funds are going exactly, so that you don't overpay something or underpay something or not have enough available balance on your card, just in case something happens. All right, so until next time, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.